The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I'm not fond of the 50s. One of the reasons was, in the education department, they had these sort of older women who had gone to normal school. In 1899, graduated in 2 years, took religion and first aid. They gave them each a bun in the back, a chignon, and a large black dress and Boy Scout shoes. Sent them into schools to say, "No talking! No talking! Button your lips, no talking!" And of course you folded your hands in front of you and you were ready to learn. No tension, no talking. And this was like the worst to me. And civil defense was heavy then. I don't know if you remember this, but this was like an overriding concern. They spent so much time talking about it that I had nightmares. I cared. First of all, they were very subtle. They told us, "Children, a siren means disaster." Dream about them often. When you hear a siren go under a tree, give up. It's too terrible. Don't even try to save yourself. Just take this pill. You know. They taught us a siren means disaster. Then they had the foresight to blow a siren every day at 12 o'clock. Walking home from school with a lunch bag. What's that? Oh, it's just 12 o'clock. Oh, you know. I used to second guess. What if the Russians bombed at 12 o'clock? They're not idiots. We'll bomb at 12 o'clock, Ivan. They don't know. They think it's lunch. We had all kinds of warnings, you know. We had this, how stupid they were. They actually let this information out. We had warnings when the enemy was over Montana. You know, you got 4 short blasts, 3 long blasts. When they're over Alaska, you get 5 long. Then you could really kid around. You could play handball for an hour before you take cover. They had ones over Chicago. Then they had ones no warning at all. You hear propellers over 125th Street. You have to jump under the desk, put your ass to the window. That's what it actually said in the official instructions. Put your ass immediately to the window. Signed, Averell Harriman, Governor. You know, they didn't fool around. You know. Well, they had no time to be pompous. The kids knew what that meant. We were given dog tags, which was one of the highlights of my school career. This was surely one of the most frightening things because they let information leak out that it could withstand a certain amount of heat. You know, and they got up, of course, with great subtlety. "Children, no talking. Take these tags home. They're to be used in the event that you're burnt beyond recognition in a nuclear holocaust. And no talking during a nuclear holocaust. I want an orderly nuclear holocaust. 2 lines, no talking. I'll be taking names." It's one of my greatest fears that I might get a 0 during a nuclear holocaust.
Robert Klein with Civil Defense, or as he also put it on here, no talking during a civil defense drill. Hi, welcome to the 33rd podcast of the Brain Sandwich Show. Mike Madonna here, and we're going to do 3 more of Jim and Jay's movie reviews. If you've been listening to them in order, which I hope you have, then you know what they're like, and you know what you can expect on the next several podcasts. We get all the way up to 46 with them here, it looks like, on the list, before I run out of reviews that were available. And I've got a bunch of them that are on tape that I have to digitize yet. And I'll do that over the course of months or whatever, and perhaps later in the year I will do another set of these podcasts where I put 2 or 3 movie reviews on a podcast until we get them all up there for you to be able to access. What you're going to hear today is Don't Open Till Christmas, Creepozoids, and Blue Monkey. Now, if memory serves, Blue Monkey was not really a monkey. It was a giant fly thing of some kind. I think Steve Railsback is in the movie. I'm not positive, but anyway, that's what my faulty memory is telling me. So anyway, enjoy them. Here is Don't Open Till Christmas. Adios.
Are you guys watching those god-awful movies again?
Oh, no, Jay, we're watching It's a Wonderful Life, huh, Jay?
That's right, with Jimmy Stewart.
And Donna Reed. It's our favorite.
Well, what's this package I see underneath the tree? It looks like it's for me.
It's just a movie, Gene. It's just a movie.
Don't open till Christmas, Gene.
But, I bet I know what it is. I bet it's the movie It's a Wonderful Life, isn't it? My very favorite.
Don't open till Christmas.
Don't open till Christmas, Gene.
Well, all right, boys. Well, I'm going up to bed now. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Hey, she gone?
Yeah, she's gone. What's going on?
Oh, Jim, this is great. The movie we had, she almost caught us, Jim.
Yeah, why?
We
What?
got
What?
this movie called Don't Open Till Christmas.
You mean it's not It's a Wonderful Life?
No, it's called Don't Open Till Christmas.
Oh, no.
And it's about, like, it's set in London or something around Christmas time. But this year, Christmas is not going to be quite as good, see?
Why?
'Cause there aren't going to be any Santa Clauses left.
What do you mean there aren't going to be any Santa Clauses?
Well,
They're all over the place.
No, not in London this year, because there's this maniac, and we don't exactly know
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
but he runs around London,
And he kills everybody!
wearing a Santa Claus suit. That's why there aren't any more
Oh,
Santa
well,
Clauses
that makes
left.
sense. Put it in.
Okay.
Will be given early next year. Tonight in London, the festive atmosphere has a distinct chill about it, as yet another Santa Claus is slain. And now, the weather. Tonight in London, the festive atmosphere has a distinct chill about it, as yet another Santa Claus is slain. And now, the weather.
Well, Jim, that sound that we heard was the last gasp of about the 17th or 18th Santa Claus to die in London here in this 1984 release, Don't Open Till Christmas, an international bizarre release that was filmed in London around that time. And it stars Edmund Purdom, and I forget what he used to be in. He's a star of a series of TV shows, I think probably made in London. And he's now playing the Scotland Yard inspector charged with the job of getting the maniac that's killing Santa Clauses all over London and leave their bodies in places like fireplaces and charcoal pits and phone booths and everything else all over the place. It's an exciting movie, Jim, and it's another one of, I think, the Christmas moral movies that we've been seeing over the last few weeks. A movie I'm proud to be watching and proud to be reporting on.
Oh, Jay, not again. Come on, give me a break. The only thing that was good about this that I thought was going to happen was you heard the organ, that exciting music. I thought Ernie Hayes was going to jump at any minute and go dun 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 dun. I was expecting him to come out, and he never did. I was really disappointed.
At least you could have had him come out and play Christmas music, Jim. You're not in the spirit. That's the whole problem. You're thinking he could have come out and gone dun 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 dun.
Well, yeah, he could have done that, but he didn't do that either. It was just,
in fact, Ernie Hayes wasn't in it at all.
Just gives you an idea what the budget was for music in this. One guy on an organ.
And one guy without an organ.
And one guy without an organ. In fact, one of the Santa Clauses was killed by I won't say what he's doing, but he had his member. He was dismembered. In other words,
yeah.
And his name was Alan Pudney. I thought that was kind of good, and that was just one of the ways that the Santa Clauses were killed. Of course, we had the always bare breast in these movies, which we have to have.
But Jim, this was tasteful and it fit right in.
It was tasteful. It was a calendar shot. It was a photographer with a calendar shot.
It fit into the context of the movie, not like the ones that you like where they just throw it in gratuitously.
Right, and this is the one where she ends up in the Santa Claus outfit, and the mad killer thinks that it's a man, but finds out it's a woman and doesn't kill her. Just kind of scares her real bad. And
it's really the reverse of the usual movies.
Yes,
Jim.
it is.
I found that kind of interesting. It's sort of a Christmas present. It wasn't lovely young women that were getting hacked up. It was
lovely young men.
Well, and old men too.
And
old
Santa
Claus outfits. So.
It was mostly drunken Santas, as I recall.
Well,
There was a lot of drunken Santas, and that's the only thing I liked about the movie, Jay. That it turned the tables. It's usually, like you say, women that get hacked up. It was all men. And women weren't victims for a change, and that. But other than that, the movie was really bad. I mean, especially you'd think that after 18 or 19 Santas are killed, you'd think nobody'd walk around in a Santa outfit. Yet there's all these people running around in Santa outfits, or as they call them, Father Christmas. I just didn't. It was terrible, Jim.
Jim, you missed the point again. I'm not going to give away the surprise ending that shows that reveals the psychological motivation of the killer, which is really fascinating in and of itself. The scene where Santa Claus is upstairs with the maid.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a fascinating scene. We won't talk about that now. But really, Jim, what you missed is, I said, the point is that what they're trying to show us by this movie is that we've gotten away from the fun of Christmas. I mean, they're trying to say, look, we're killing off the Christmas spirit. We're killing off the idea of giving and having a good time at Christmas, getting presents, spending money on each other, that kind of stuff. We're killing off that whole concept.
Wait a minute, Jay.
What?
Wait, do you realize? Do you hear what you're saying?
I think it's insightful.
Well,
You're missing this.
Jay, last week when we reviewed the other movie, part 3 of
Silent Night,
Deadly Night, you were saying that they were trying to get rid of the commercialization of Christmas, that it was too much giving presents and having fun, that we should get back to the basics. Now you're saying that they should do that. Can't you make up your mind?
Well,
what are you doing?
You missed the point on both occasions.
But
you missed last week's
can't
point.
feel both ways. You got to feel one way or the other.
Oh, no, you missed one of them, you missed the other one. It doesn't matter,
Jay,
Jim.
you got to feel one way or the other. You can't be both.
This is not a bad movie. 3 lobotomies, I think. This is not a bad movie.
Oh, Jay.
You just missed the point on both. You missed the mark both times, Jim.
I guess I did. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but another one lobotomy. I didn't like the one last week. I didn't like the one this week. They're both terrible.
Yeah, but you're just getting the Christmas spirit. You'd like it, Jim.
Well, maybe so, but well, Jay, look, just to show you I'm in the Christmas spirit, let's say our goodbyes to everyone, okay?
Okay.
Have a Merry Christmas, and don't let Santa catch you watching those god-awful movies. And thanks to the good fathers, Jay, for taking over on Christmas Eve for us so we can spend that time with our families.
That's right, Jim. And special thanks to Star Video at 3117 South Grand for the use of those wonderful movies all year long. They've been very, very nice to us.
Oh, Kevin, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, sure, Gina. I came early to set up for the movie review tonight. You know, boy, when these guys are left alone in the studio over at the station, they're really bad. But when they come in with these movie reviews, I mean, my God, sometimes. So I thought I'd come over and help engineer it tonight.
Well, I'm glad you're here because I really need your help. I have been really concerned about the Brain Boys.
Why?
Well, a couple weeks ago, they've been watching these really awful movies week after week after week, and I just think their brains are getting really, really warped. You know, it's the Christmas season, right?
Right, and that's why they're going to be watching It's a Wonderful Life tonight.
Right. Well, a couple weeks ago, they watched some movie where Santa Claus kills people. And then last week, they watched this movie where a maniac kills everybody that wears a Santa Claus suit.
You're kidding me. I had no idea.
I just think it's getting worse. I've hired a psychologist. Kevin, I want you to meet Dr. Alec Pollard.
Hello,
Dr. Pollard.
doctor.
Hi, Kevin. How are
You
you?
know, I've got this place on my arm. I wonder if you'd mind looking up.
No, Kevin. He's a psychologist.
Oh, a shrink.
Well, sometimes we refer to as that, yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to have him help us out. When the Brain Boys come in to do the movie review, I'm going to introduce Dr. Pollard as one of my cousins. And I'm going to have him sit in with the Brain Boys while they do the movie review so he can somehow get an analysis of the psyches of the Brain Boys. What do you think?
I think that could probably take the rest of the century, but let's give it a whirl tonight. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll set up like normal, and then we'll just tape it tonight, and I'll leave the tape running, and then we'll see what happens.
Yes. Would you do that for me?
Sure.
Thanks.
Shh. I think they're coming, so let's go. Here they come now.
Hey, hi, everybody. Oh, look, hey, Kevin.
Hi, Jim. Hi,
Keep
Jay.
moving with this thing, okay?
Yeah, I guess we got to get the movie review.
Okay, I've already set up It's a Wonderful Life, and we're ready to go.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's roll it.
Are you guys watching those god-awful movies again?
Oh, no, Gene. We're
I know you're watching It's a Wonderful Life. It's your favorite.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
What?
Well, that's great. I was wondering if you guys could do me a favor.
What's that?
What?
Well, I've got some errands to do upstairs, and my cousin from out of town is visiting. Alec, I'd like you to meet Jim and Jay.
Hi,
Alec.
I was wondering if you would mind just letting him sit in and watch It's a Wonderful
Well,
Life.
yeah, but
with you.
Jim,
Honey.
We got to get this done, Gene. I mean, we can't.
Oh, but guys, it's his favorite too.
okay, we better. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Don't worry, it won't be any trouble. And it's just been such a long, hard week. The kids are having such a hard time learning about trapezoids.
Creepazoids?
No, dear, trapezoids. Now, don't worry about it. I'm just going to go on upstairs and enjoy your movie, okay?
Okay, Gene. We'll see you later on, okay?
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah. Well, gee, Jay.
Oh, hey, look, Alec.
Yeah, we got a confession to
Yeah,
make.
buddy. Look, we're not gonna watch It's a Wonderful Life. You know, we're not gonna watch it.
Well, thank goodness. Listen, I have seen that thing more times than I can count, you guys. I'd be glad to watch something else. What are we going to be doing?
Oh, good. That's good. I'm glad. We thought we were gonna get in a lot of trouble for this. We're really gonna watch this movie called Creepazoids.
Oh, that's what we were saying. Okay.
Yeah. And Creepazoids is about these deserters from this war that occurs like post-nuclear, after World War III. And these deserters are running around California someplace, and they wind up at this deserted army base outside of Los Angeles. And they go into there to find food and stuff in the army base, but they don't find any food at all. What they find is this monster that sucks amino acids out of people.
Interesting.
And there's all these deserters are in there, and the monster comes out all the time and runs around and kills everybody.
Oh, that sounds great. What do you think, Alec?
Oh, I think that sounds quite interesting.
Okay, we'll put it in now.
Great scream, Jay.
Bad movie, Jim. I'll tell you.
I
This
guess
is one of
so.
the worst.
Should we give it our rating now?
I'd almost like to. We have to at least spend some time talking about it.
Okay, I guess so. All right. We said a little bit in the opening what's happening, but basically these soldiers in this futuristic war think they've found a paradise because it's got food, it's got non-contaminated water, they got a computer system they can work with, and they think it's great. Well, suddenly, people start puking up black stuff and dying in front of them, and they don't know what's happening, so.
What really is happening is these mutant things called creepazoids are down in the basement sucking out the amino acids from these people, and somehow it makes them throw up black stuff.
Yeah.
I have no idea. This is just a gobbledygook. It's a mess. I can't imagine why they even put this movie out. It's really pretty bad.
Well, this goes right along with, the one scene or one set movie like we saw with The Strangeness in the Mine Shaft. All they had to have was like 2 rooms, and they could do this whole movie for 80, 90 minutes in these 2 rooms, and that's it. And then one scene with an icky rock where the creepazoid hangs out.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, we could stop right now, but we probably should at least delve into the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we should spend a little time with the movie.
What'd you think, Alec?
Well, actually, Jim, Jay, I'm more interested in how you all felt about it.
Well, we kind of said what we thought, Alec. It really was pretty boring.
Well, could you go with that for a little bit, Jay?
Well, I'll tell you what. It wasn't entirely boring. Yeah, okay. It wasn't entirely boring. There was one scene coming up that was pretty neat. I'm going to play that one.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Standing guard.
No, you're not.
90% of household accidents happen in the bath. I'm standing guard.
No, you're not.
I'm not?
No. You're gonna come and soap my backside. What's the matter? Can't you handle it?
I can handle anything.
Well, then look alive, soldier.
Ooh, for a bad movie, Jim, that's a powerfully erotic scene, filled with sexual tension.
Well, I don't know, Jay. They're in the Army. They're used to dealing with things in a matter-of-fact way, and that's what it is. Come on, get to it, soldier. And see, here's a continuation of the scene, Jay. They're soaping each other in the shower here now.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, actually, for a bad movie.
And they didn't waste time. It's right at the beginning of the movie, and
You both seem to really enjoy that part.
Well, it was a boring movie.
yeah, there's so little else to enjoy. That's not so bad,
Does that mean there's so little else to enjoy in your life in general, Jim?
Well, no, I keep quite busy. I think I'm
pretty busy,
I'm busy
too.
all the time.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I hardly have time to do these movie reviews. Much less take time out to have dinner with my wife. You know?
These aren't just filling some kind of void for both of you.
Actually, we like these movies. It's artistic. This is the way we create.
Yes. Even though they're bad, we make something of them. Probably more than they deserve, actually.
But let's go on. And there's more stuff. That's not,
there's
not
more
all sex in this movie. There's an interesting thing here, too, Jim, coming up about the food that's cooked there. And see, what happens is a guy somehow starts throwing up all this black stuff and
Yeah,
dies.
I mentioned it a little
it's
earlier.
Weird,
so,
but
yeah.
So we're moving from sex to food now.
Well, actually, puking up food. It's
Well, no, I mean, they're well, let's just play the scene.
Interesting transition.
Anything on that thing? There's codes within codes here. If Jesse got through, he didn't leave a trace.
It was the food. It was the food that killed him.
No way, we all ate the food.
And we're all gonna No, it was him. Something about him, not the food. His metabolism couldn't handle it. He changed, mutated.
That does it. We're out of here.
Come on, Butch.
I mean it. I moved. We aced it right out the door.
Yeah, right into the acid rain bath.
Oh, so we just sit here and wait for it to happen to us?
No, we find out what this is and kill it.
Okay, we'll start finding.
That's right, Jay. Get in there. Come on, let's do it. Aren't we
I think
soldiers
so,
or
too.
what?
See, these are deserters, but they still have that fighting spirit. They're
That's
not really
right.
deserters, Jim. I think these are just people that took war their own direction in their own
Yeah,
way.
but we still hated it.
We still hated it.
Yeah.
Idealists, these were. I mean,
Now
these
you gentlemen
rugged
are really getting
individual idealists.
you're really getting animated now. You're really into this military thing.
Well, you know, this guy. Look at these guys. They got their dog tags on, and these guys are lean and muscular and tough.
You wanted to
They
be
know what they're gonna do.
You wanted to be a soldier, didn't you? Come on, Jay.
Well,
Didn't you really?
He was in the Coast Guard. He didn't want to be a soldier. He wanted to just go in and serve his time and get out like me.
I don't think so, Jim.
Well,
I think he wants his own gun.
I never
No.
had a gun.
He always winces when we talk about
That's
killing.
right. You never had a gun, did you?
Well,
And the other kids had one, didn't they?
Well, they did.
Didn't
yeah.
they, Jay?
They
Yeah.
did. Yeah, they did have a gun.
And-
Jim, do you have guns? I don't know.
No, Dad
He
wouldn't
didn't-
let us have guns.
That's right.
We didn't know what was head. Did you feel
And,
that? I don't
No,
know.
I never
and you're
felt
mad
it.
about that, aren't you, Jim?
No, I had a motor scooter,
That Dad
though.
wouldn't let you have a gun?
I had a motor scooter.
Jim, don't change the subject. You're upset. Dad didn't let you have a gun. Or you, Jay.
No, he didn't. I wanted to shoot little birds and things, just like everybody else was doing.
That's right.
And he wouldn't let me. I'm sure glad now, though.
That's right. And now you get to watch movies, don't you?
Yeah.
With guns.
Well, yeah, I do like
Bad
the parts
men.
with the guns. And
Yeah, they're not too bad. Unless if they're killing aliens, yeah, that's fine, and mutants. But if they kill people and little animals and stuff, I don't like that.
I don't like when they kill little.
Well, that's
little
fine.
helpless animals.
I don't certainly don't mean to imply anything. Let's just enjoy the movie.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, okay.
sorry, I didn't.
Well,
mean to-
anyway, there is a scene coming up here that was just so ridiculous, Jay. Basically, what's happened is these women are in this room and they're talking, women talk, and this big giant rat comes out. I guess it's a mutated rat from somewhere. He comes out, attacks them, and they end up on the bed. Well, they're sitting on the bed, and the cover's like hanging down over the cot. And so this woman, of course, bends over to look under the cot, and what happens? This rat comes out from under the bed, attaches to her neck, and starts severing her jugular vein, right? And so they finally get it off, kill the rat, and here's the response of these two people that were sitting there watching this woman bleed.
It hurts, Jake. Where's Butch?
Blanca, please.
Where is Butch?
I don't know. It's got him. Get a blanket.
Great, Jay. She's there bleeding profusely. Her jugular vein is squirting out into the bed, and he says, "Get a blanket." They're sitting there holding her hand. They're not putting a compress on her neck or putting a tourniquet around her head or anything, or whatever you're supposed to do in a situation like that. I don't know, but get a blanket? That's not it,
That was pretty stupid, wasn't it, Alan?
Well, I think you guys are really missing the point here now. Now, we've all felt that kind of trembling and fear as we confront things that are the unknown in the dark, and I think you all are missing the whole point here. Haven't you ever felt that kind of vulnerability?
You're starting to sound like Schober. You sure you don't know this guy from before?
I was never afraid of big rats under the bed, Alan.
You weren't afraid of them?
No, I wasn't really.
Maybe when you were like 5 or 6,
spiders for me.
You had spiders.
I wasn't afraid of anything. Much.
You weren't afraid of any?
No, not that I can remember.
Well, not just the big rat that you thought was under there, and you didn't have that.
Did you?
Well, yeah. Well, for a little bit, yeah. I just.
Maybe that's why you saw something in the scene, because otherwise it was a stupid scene.
Yeah, it was really stupid. I mean, I wouldn't have put that
You
in.
read an awful lot into this scene. I mean, you sound like sometimes Finley does that too. But
I don't know. I think there was something there. I don't know. This movie has some positive points
Face it,
to
Alec,
it.
there was no good scene in this movie. What scene did you like?
Well, I kind of like that first scene. Let's see that again.
Oh.
And then the shower scene.
Yeah, it had some interesting symbolism.
Okay, well, we'll go back to it, yeah.
What are you doing?
Standing guard.
No, you're not.
90% of household accidents happen in the bath. I'm standing guard.
No, you're not.
I'm not?
No. You're gonna come and soak my backside. What's the matter? Can't you handle it?
I could handle anything.
Well, then look alive, soldier.
Now here you have classic example of masculine and feminine issues coming together here, and here this is society.
This was just a stupid scene. It was dumb. We watched it the first time. It was stupid the first time. It's stupid this time.
Not only that, Jay, I just saw on this computer printout, Roger Corman's name was in the list of people that was on the.
That still doesn't save. Just because they put his name in one scene, it doesn't make it any better of a movie.
Right.
Jim, this
That's
is
a
a half
good point.
lobotomy at the very best. It's lucky. I'm gonna give no lobotomies. I hate this movie.
I'll give it a half a lobotomy just for this scene. I agree with Alec actually.
You like it? You can sit there and watch it with him, Jim. Because I'm gonna go out and have a beer.
Me too. I'm gonna go.
No,
with
wait.
you.
This scene. This is a good scene. This.
Alec, you want to come out and have a beer with us?
These guys. This has a nice body
Alec,
here. This
you
is
wanna have a beer with-
This is.
Come on, we're gonna go out and have a beer. You want to have a beer?
Well, you guys go ahead. I want to play this one scene back again.
Okay.
There's some
okay,
really
all
neat
right,
symbolism here, and it's the struggle.
Watch the movie.
The struggle.
We'll be back after a couple of beers.
This is men and women struggling together in contemporary society. These are the underlying. Where are you guys going? Okay. All right. Well, I'll come down and meet you down there. Okay? Because I'm gonna just watch this one thing here. This is really okay.
Hey guys, where you going?
Gene, look.
The movie's bad.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
Terrible.
What do you mean? It's a Wonderful Life. It's your favorite movie.
Yeah, listen, we got a confession to tell you, Gene. We went to get the It's a Wonderful Life in the store there, and they made a mistake, and they put it in the box for It's a Wonderful Life. They put this movie called Creepazoids. It's never happened before. It was a bad movie.
Yeah,
we
it was
wanted to
real
watch
bad.
It's a Wonderful Life because, you know what, we love
But
it so
Alec
much.
loves it. He's sitting there watching this scene, this stupid shower scene, over and over again. This guy's sick, Gene.
He's really sick. Your cousin is mentally ill, and he got to really receive some kind of help real quick. We're going to
get a beer. We'll see you later.
See you. Bye.
Dr. Pallard, what are you doing?
I'm watching It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed. It's my favorite.
Oh my God.
Are you guys watching those god-awful movies again?
No. We're watching It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, with Jimmy Stewart.
And Donna Reed.
It's our favorite.
Watch this, guys.
What are you doing? Tomorrow school begins. I need a good night's sleep. You know how nervous I get before school starts, and you are making these stupid noises and holding your breath like a chimpanzee. What are you doing?
It's charades, Gene. He wants. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is important. Jay, I screwed up, and we should have done this earlier. We probably should have done it for Hotel California or whatever. But this movie review is dedicated to Paul, and the dedication says.
What's the deal with Paul today?
I don't know, but it's dedicated to Paul, who is in the car right now heading to a theater, and the dedication goes something like this. Thanks for a wonderful morning, Paul. Without the baby stuff in it. Yeah, that could be the result. Thanks for a wonderful morning, Paul.
This is what wonderful mornings like this
That's
give
right.
you.
That's
Say
right.
something.
So,
Remind them of reality.
Let's go
Chris.
on with the movie review. This is for you, Paul.
This
is called The Blue Monkey.
What he is. Yeah, that's it. I know what he is. He's a moron. And so are you for watching him and encouraging him. Good night.
Good night. Jay, let your breath out. Let your breath out. You're all blue, Jay. What are you doing anyway? Why are you holding your breath and making noises like a chimpanzee?
Well, because I was trying to give you guys a clue that we were really going to watch tonight, Jim.
And what would that be,
It's
Jay?
a movie called Blue Monkey.
Blue monkey, really?
Yeah.
It's about a monkey that runs around
No,
and kills everybody?
No, there's no monkey in it at all. There's no monkey in it. I don't know why they call it Blue Monkey. But
There's
what it's
no
really
monkey?
About, no, but it's not. But I'll tell you, this guy gets grasped by this plant that they
Yeah?
find in the volcano
Yeah?
someplace, see? And they bring him to the hospital.
Yeah?
And when he gets to the hospital, this big worm comes out of his mouth.
Ooh.
And the worm turns into this big bug.
Yeah?
And the bug just runs around and
It kills everybody! Oh, I like that. It's a nice twist.
Let me put it in quick.
Okay.
Nothing seems to be adding up.
Judith, what the hell's going on here?
We're not exactly sure, Roger.
Not sure? At this time, the hospital can't afford to be not sure.
Well, there's a differential diagnosis a mile long. Anywhere from infectious bacteria to viruses to a parasite. I think we should alert the LIDC.
The LIDC? Is that really necessary?
The LIDC? Lincoln Institute for Disease Control in New York.
Well, don't you think we're overreacting? I mean, an old man develops a high fever from an insect bite. Seems a little drastic to bring them into it.
Roger, what you're really saying is you don't want any negative publicity, right? Not with a new laser wing opening in a week.
I resent that, Judith. The safety and care of our patients has and always will be the first concern of our county memorial hospital.
Oh, my word. Maybe things aren't quite so rosy at County Memorial Hospital after all. This is a 1987 release by RCA Video. It's filmed in Canada, and the movie is Blue Monkey. And as we mentioned before, Jim, it has nothing to do with monkeys, and actually has nothing to do with much of anything. It's a pretty boring movie overall, although looking at you during the movie, I think you actually liked this movie. I can't imagine how, but I just get the feeling you did.
Well, Jay, I mean, as horror movies go, or monster movies, I guess this is really, it's not, it's not up there with the biggies, but I liked it. I did. There were a lot of good things about it. I mean, it had some big stars. It had Steve Railsbach, and he's
old
been in a bunch.
stuntman. The guy was a stuntman turned actor.
Right. Yeah. Wasn't he in The Stuntman? As a matter of fact.
He was in The Stuntman. He was also he played Charlie Manson.
Right.
He was in Life Force, and he's been in a couple of other bad horror movies.
Another one of Dan O'Bannon's marginal movies.
And this movie is going to do nothing for his career.
And then John Vernon, Jay. We've seen John Vernon. He was Dr. Roger in that first scene. Now, John Vernon was the principal in Newcomb High. And where else did we see him?
He was the college president in Animal House.
That's right, in Animal House. So a lot of really named people here. It wasn't like they were all, just obscure actors and actresses. And what I really liked about this is that, Jay, it was exciting. You never knew what was going to happen from minute to minute. There was always surprises. There were things always happening, popping up. You never knew which way it was going to turn. It was great. I really liked that.
Surprising?
Yeah.
Jim, there was no surprise. The only surprise is that this movie was ever made to begin with. There's a scene coming up. Let me just show you. Give me an example of what little surprise there was in this movie.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Ooh. Are there thorns on that thing? No, that's a new plant that just was sent to me for Colocae. That's a newly formed volcanic island just south of Micronesia, and none of the species have thorns. Oh, that looks terrible. Oh, you should see a doctor right away.
Ah, just a pinprick. I'll take care of it when I get back to the shop.
Are you sure you're all right?
Never felt better in my life.
Okay, Jay, nice little scene there. A couple of elderly people in this small town. So what was so, I don't understand your point. What is it?
Well, Jim, he said, never felt better in my life. We always expect something to happen when somebody says that, and it always does. I mean, look at the movies we've seen. How many of these movies have we watched where that happens
100.
time in and time out? Like Green Slime.
Yeah.
That's a good example. Right at the beginning, the guy goes, this is so boring. Nothing ever exciting ever happens around here. They're on a space station someplace. As soon as he says nothing exciting ever happens around here, what happens?
Well, then the radar board started going, bleep, 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 and then these green slimy monsters came and took over the station. But
okay, that's my point. So
But
in
I
this
didn't
thing-
expect it here. I mean, this was just a guy saying he felt good. He's got a date with his girlfriend, and
Oh, wait a minute. You didn't expect it? He'd just gotten stuck in the hand by some plant. You
Yeah.
knew there was something going on.
well, yeah, I guess.
Did you think the guy was going to walk away and be fine?
Well, yeah, I did. I didn't expect him to.
Well, what
I didn't know
happened
how the movie was going to happen. That's why I was surprised.
What happened to him like about 2 seconds after he said that?
Well, the finger kind of swelled up and it got black and blue and stuff.
Yeah, and then what about 2 seconds later? What happened?
Well, I mean, it got a little worse. I mean, he sort of keeled over in convulsions and had like a heart attack, and then they took him to the hospital, and he was flopping around on the gurney, and his neck swelled up real big and engorged itself with blood, and then his caterpillar or worm came out of his mouth, and then his bones all dissolved, and his chest exploded. But other than that, he felt great. I mean,
This is my point, Jim. The only way this would have been surprising is if the guy was still living at the end of the movie, which he wasn't.
Oh, well, maybe it wasn't so surprising after all, but I kind of liked it. I still liked the scene. It was good.
What else could you possibly like about this movie?
Well, I'll tell you, what I really liked was that, now this has to do with the credits, okay? Now, they actually went to the trouble. Like I said, this was an insect, okay, an insect creature, and really what happens is that some kids pour this growth hormone into this thing. It's just a little insect, but they pour this growth hormone that just happens to be sitting around the lab there, that they weren't supposed to get, and it grew real big, okay? And they actually went to the trouble to get an entomologist, Jay, to come in and make sure that this insect looked like a real insect, I like that. It looked real good, I thought,
Were we watching the same movie?
Yeah,
I sat
yeah.
here and watched it with you. Jim, you didn't need an entomologist. All you needed were a couple of kids who played cootie at some time in their lives, because that's all this monster looked like, was just a big plastic cootie. It had the proboscis hanging down. All it needed was a couple of big dice. And this movie would have been just like playing cootie in the basement on Christmas Eve.
I can see that. You're in that kind of mood again, where no matter what I say, what I like about the movie, you're going to come up with something, that proves that I'm a moron, that I shouldn't like this movie for any reason whatsoever. But, Jay, I'm not going to let that stop me. Because, there are some other things that I liked about the movie. And even though the thing, you say it looked like a cootie, I disagree. I thought it was a very good insect. But the entomologist, the guy that played the entomologist was good. I liked his character. He was very believable. He was kind of that nerdy kind of scientist, professor kind of guy. He had kind of a humorous part, too, like when he was first introduced as the character, the guy that went to get him, there were caterpillars around and then crickets and stuff. He was telling about getting worms in his cereal. And then they go outside, and he's driving he says, "Oh, my favorite car," and the guy's driving a Volkswagen Beetle. It's a little humor there, Jay. But anyway, there's an explanation come up where he tells exactly what these insects will do, and I think it gives a lot of insight into the movie and into the entomologist's character. So we'll give it a listen.
How long before those eggs hatch? Well, the eggs will be full-grown and reproducing within days. The potential for a fertile pair of insects could theoretically reach 100 million in a year. We have to kill the female and destroy the eggs. What about the male? Oh, it's not that simple. Insects aren't like humans or animals. They're 80% liquids and muscles. They have very few organs. You could cut off a leg, even destroy the brain, and they'll just grow a new one back. Their sense of smell is so strong they can detect something miles away. That thing's outer shell is like armored plating. So conventional weapons are useless against it. But the fact that the male protected the female during its metamorphosis indicates that she's very vulnerable. What's the best way to do it? Well, an incendiary attack will be the most practical. Do you have any butane tanks in this hospital?
This building's over 100 years old. You start a fire in here, the whole place could go up in minutes. It's out of the question.
I don't really think we have a choice. When those eggs hatch, you're going to have a lot of hungry larvae. They're mineral devourers. The male paralyzes the victim by stinging.
Like a spider.
The female deposits the eggs in a manner that the hatched larva can feed on the food until its metamorphosis is complete. The victim would be alive for several days.
Boy, Jay, that's, I don't know. That's kind of a scary description of what's going on. Didn't you think that was good? I think he's good.
Jim, that was a 5-minute sequence. The next time you're going to show something that long and that boring, let me know. I'll go out and take the dog for a walk. What is the matter with you? This guy wasn't any good. Besides that, I mean, the only thing that he had to do with Bugs is that he and Mayflies had something in common. They all had an acting life of less than 24 hours. So does everybody else involved with this movie. How could you like it?
Well, Jay, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I've been telling you why I like it through the whole review, and you aren't listening tonight. But so I'm going to just give it my rating. And just one name that I like. I really like the fact that the insect miniatures were done by Christopher Leach. I thought that was good. But
that's nice, Jim. That doesn't save the movie. This is a one lobotomy movie. This is not very
one
good.
lobotomy?
Yes, one lobotomy.
I'm gonna give it 3.5. I think it's worth it.
3.5 lobotomy. Well, okay.
Well, I mean, I gave it 5. I mean, 3.5 is a moderate rating, but I liked it that much. So
one lobotomy for me.
Also there was another name, Jay, at the end, and right at the credits here, and it was great. It was the catering service. It was what was it?
Capers on Location. It said Capers on Location. That's a clever name, but not enough to save the movie.
No. It wasn't Capers. Was it? It wasn't Capers, was it? I thought it was Tapeworms on Location or something like that.
Tapeworms?
Yeah. I mean, that went along with the movie. I mean, run it back. I know it was Tapeworms on Location. Come on, run it back.